Join me as I dive into my latest abstract painting series. We'll explore what worked, what didn't, and what I plan to experiment with next. Stick around for some behind the scenes insights. Hi there, I'm Janine. I'm an artist and I share my creative journey on this channel. Once I've finished a body of work, I let a few weeks go by to gain some distance from the painting process. I then check in to see how my initial ideas came to life or how things developed that I had not originally foreseen. I take note of what I enjoyed and which elements and ideas I want to take and explore further in my next series. I also identify what I might want to do differently next time. This is the latest series I've worked on. So these 4 pieces are kind of a medium size, 50 by 50 centimeters. And then I had these larger ones, 60 by a meter, 80 by 80. And I really love this series. It's kind of pushed my boundaries a little bit in terms of colour and marks, and I think they're just overall a really nice development on from what I was making before. So I want to go through and see what I really liked about it and how I can develop that further and bring it forward into my next work, my next body of work. First of all, let's review a little bit the inspiration for the series, or the intentions, let's say. I set out that I wanted to have my work feel quite spacious, but then also paired with energetic marks. And you can really see that quite clearly in these. There's a lot of areas of kind of white space, so calmer areas, and then also everything has quite a lot of little bits of energy. So I think that worked really well. But as my process is quite intuitive, I didn't have too much I wanted to go off. I was also considering adding some line work, which there is a little bits of that in here. Not very much, but I think just enough. And then I also wanted to play with transparency. And I did add a lot of transparent layers. One of my favourite ones is actually here. This is what I added last, and that's kind of a yellowish tint to this corner, which I think really elevates this piece and picks up on a few other more yellowish greeny bits around this painting. And then how it actually turned out is always a little bit different from what I originally intended, because my work is so intuitive. So there definitely is spaciousness and energetic marks, but it is quite a bit more colourful. I had originally intended them to be quite a bit more muted, but you can see really quite a range of joyful colours, and it did actually turn out quite joyful. You can really see the joy I had making the pieces, and that I think translates quite well into the final artworks, especially in these two here. I think that's quite free, and there is quite a lot more energy in it than there was in my previous work, which I really love.
If you like this video, consider subscribing.
Now, what I enjoyed here, I really loved working on these bigger pieces, because now that I've got a separate studio, I can actually work on larger pieces much easier than I did before. So I definitely want to continue with that. Larger canvases. And I experimented a lot with different materials and marks and different tools. And some of them have quite a landscapey feel to them, like especially this one with the horizon line. I do like that. It's actually also something that's different to what I set out to do. And I did actually really enjoy playing with the colours, with more saturated colours. And I find it quite helpful to have a range of different sizes, so not just the large ones, but also these are different formats. And then I also had these, and I had 9 really small ones, like 20 by 20. So I enjoyed the variety of sizes. I did find that there were quite a lot of pieces in this collection, maybe too many pieces. So next time I think I might just concentrate on a couple of sizes and maybe make a separate smaller collection at a different time. And I also really like these little bits that are looking like they're glowing. Then a lot of white space, which is really just calm areas, and then bits of colour or bits of saturated colour, which they're not pure primaries, the ones I've used, but because they're paired with more muted colours, these look even more saturated. Like the brightest yellow I've used is a yellow oxide, which if you look at it just like that isn't very bright, but paired with something more muted it looks very bright. And then here there's a lot of transparent layers, transparency. And something I did in my last collection and I also really enjoyed here is this darkness around the edges. It kind of frames the piece and makes it sort of look like you're looking through a window into another world. And this piece especially has a lot of expressive, energetic marks. And this piece especially has a lot of, actually all of them, but I just noticed here has a lot of transparent layers, but with marks that are quite subtle, and then paired with bolder marks. I really love this yellow swoop down here. And also these kind of gradients. This was all kind of one dark color first, and then I slowly merged this light blue over the dark blue. Now, what I want to bring forward into my next series and explore further is this expressive energy and variety in marks. Also the larger sizes. I'm actually planning to do a few that are even larger than these here, 1 meter by 1 meter, and the largest canvas I've got so far is 1 meter by 150. And what I might do differently, but you never know, is I might try again to do some more muted colours, but still paired with colour, which was my intention for this series and it didn't happen, but I'm actually very happy it didn't happen. But we'll try again and maybe they will still be very colourful. And I think I'll also do not as many pieces at once. But other than that, I think the next ones will probably just be an extension of this series. I think I'll only do 2, maybe 4 pieces for now, but we'll see how we go on. A lot of the elements I want to take further into my next paintings are concepts I've been exploring for a while already in previous series, like the feeling of spaciousness and bursts of energy. So interesting to see how, even though each series I create is different, there is a common thread in all of my work. Have you noticed common elements in your own work that you tend to explore again and again? Let me know in the comments. If you haven't seen me paint this series yet, click the link in the description box to see the whole process from start to finish. Thanks and bye bye.